Hello, everyone. My name is Stanley St. Rose, and today we're going to be talking about the novel American Psycho, written by Bret Easton Ellis. Now, before I go into summary analysis of this work, please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and/or comment so that the channel can continue to grow. All right, American Psycho, a very interesting work here. A lot of things are happening within this work. Um, Basically, you have this man by the name of Patrick Bateman. Um, he is engaged with this woman by the name of Evelyn. He's a stockbroker. He's making money, but he lives a very crazy life. Drugs, clubbing, having sex with a lot of different women. Cheating on his fiancee, and then the work pretty much tells us or shows us or depicts to us that he's losing his mind. At first, it's just think about the type of job he has. He's a stockbroker. When you're a stockbroker, you're surrounded by colleagues that are working on mergers and acquisitions. You know, um, financial things, banking things. Your day is stuck in paperwork. Managing balance sheets, managing money, managing the markets. It's not the most, action heavy job. From one standpoint, I kind of understand why this man kind of becomes a psycho from the monotony of his job. Of If your job is just managing, arranging, you're doing the same thing every day. I mean, if you love it, that's great. You're making lots of money, that's great. But I think when throughout this book, it's the differences between what he's thinking, the violent things that he's imagining, and his day job are two different worlds. One is structured, one is fundamental, one is stuck in paperwork and looking at and analyzing systems that are very stable, that are repetitive, um, and the other is just crazy. The cycle part, the American cycle, is with Patrick Bateman here. It's like during the day he has this normal job, that requires a lot of focus, but in his mind, gradually he wants to kill people. Gradually, he wants to get more violent. He's having all these sexual encounters. He's doing drugs, clubbing. This work is, all of the hedonistic tendencies that a human being who has no self-control, Patrick Bateman demonstrates it. Killing people, shooting cops, killing kids. He attacks his, past girlfriends, people he dated, this woman that he dated in college, sex workers, Luis, who is this boyfriend of Courtney, a woman that he was having an affair with. He tried to kill him, but Louise wanted him as a partner. So, that was, he wasn't expecting that. Killing Owens with an axe, going after, a homeless man, stabbing him in the stomach, stabbing in the eyeballs, hiding, these bodies in an apartment, something that a psycho would do. And also within this work, it's kind of like we're not really focused on one mental disorder. There's a series of things that's wrong with Patrick, and it's everything is woven in together. At points he's having a normal life, going to restaurants, talking about fashion, spending time with friends. And on the other hand, he's shooting with cops, in a full-out shootout with cops, killing people with a whim, women, children, homeless people. It doesn't matter. Going to the laundromat, giving them bloody sheets. You know, and it's not like he is trying to hide these murders. Like he's this super, psychopath. He's not like a Dexter or Hannibal Lecter or, like a murderer, a serial killer. That's, he's not the Zodiac killer. He's not. He's just, he's unreliable. He's telling us things that didn't happen because later in the work we learned that all the things he's saying, we're not even sure that it happened. And, as the reader, you kind of understand that, well, when you are following a psycho around, you can't really expect him to give you reliable information. And so the work goes on, and he is getting involved in more darker and darker things. And by the end of the work, he pretty much tells us that ATMs can speak to him. He confesses to all of his crimes, but apparently nobody believes him. His lawyer laughs at him when he confesses to the lawyer. And it's like nothing ever happened. And, well, he just keeps living his life. He does break his engagement to his fiancée. It's really strange. In terms of deeper meaning and analysis, this is a psycho. We can't rely on him. He's not reliable. The book is commenting a lot about American society. I think it's kind of like calling Americans psychos because we live a life of consumerism. Americans, not humans per se, but Americans, I think we have a life where we consume on so many things that we don't need. We have too much clothes. I mean, I pretty much have clothes that I never wear, but they're hanging in my closet. You pretty much have clothes you never wear, but they're in your closet. You probably need 2 or 3 closets to hold all your clothes. And the thing is, you're going to keep buying more every year because you want to be in fashion. That's kind of psychotic or crazy. I mean, you could probably use that money for other things or save it or, I don't know, feed the homeless or the hungry, just saying. But we don't do that. We buy the latest gadgets when our recent gadgets are not too old. They can still be used. We do things, we waste things. We indulge in all types of pleasures that are probably morally wrong. We get involved in all types of relationships that are wrong, but we still do them. In the American culture, we do a lot of things that people from other cultures probably don't do. And even in 2024, I would say a lot of American values are separate from the rest of the world. When the rest of the world values things like, family, children, religion, ways in which we should do things. The American culture is all about self-indulgence, hedonism, and increasingly, I think the American culture is becoming more hedonistic every day. It's all about sex, drugs, alcohol, violence, money. These are the things that young kids are taught to love in America. Our musicians, our rappers, that's what they promote. Sex, drugs, violence, money, power, pleasure. That's what they show is the meaning of life. And so, in many ways, just like the Psycho here, in American Psycho, I think we do the same things. We want our money, we want our sex, we want our power, we want to do whatever we want. Now, and yes, this is not reliable information that we're getting from Patrick. Patrick is really pulling us along. I think we Americans, Americans do the same thing that Patrick does within this work. So I think this work definitely judges the American way of life and how we treat each other how our values are not aligned with the rest of the world, high divorce rates, the way that we treat each other, the way that men treat women, the way that women treat men. Other parts of the world, marriage is sacred. In America, it's not that sacred. People are getting married 2, 3 times when you're supposed to do it once. Patrick doesn't really have any respect for the women that he's with. So it goes on and on and on. And in the end, we're not really sure where this novel ends because, Patrick is not reliable. And I think in the American culture, there's a lot of Americans that do things that make no sense, but they still do them because this is America. It's the land of the free. So does that freedom to do whatever you want at times, does it turn us all into psychos? Because if you have no limitations to what you can do, an American that has a lot of money, that has millions, honestly can do a lot of things that most people in the world can never do. So is this work calling us psychos? Is it just Patrick? Yes, Patrick is a psycho, but what is this work also saying about just the American way of life? Well, that's my 2 cents. That's all I had to say about this work. Please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and or comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video.